Hey, what is going down? We are back. Thanks so much for bearing with the
I'm here.
push to the Saturday stream. I guess I'll go over what exactly was going on that stream, but for the most part, we are back and we are going to be returning with a really popular source. Like when I say a really popular source, I mean something that I started back in um, back in the winter time. Actually, it was something I started back in 2022. I streamed part of its creation in the winter time. I think it was like March or February. There was a lot of love for it. I absolutely loved it, and I'll tell you right now, working on it on stream opened the gates for a whole bunch of new ideas. I started on those ideas, and I got to finishing quite a few of them. And when you're working on a lot of videos at once, um, it's gonna make things a little bit slower to complete. But that's something that comes with the territory a lot of times when you're doing streams like this and you're making things. What is going on, Mini Color Journal? Luna, welcome. It's nice to see you two in the game. We're gonna have a lot of fun. And Luna, this is gonna be a lot of fun for you, I think, because this is a source that I loved working with on an earlier stream this year. And Mini Color Journal, I think you're gonna have some fantastic ideas for this one. Both of you have really done a fantastic job contributing to these videos. Well, if you know your 2000s toys as well as I do, and the respective cartoons that came with it, you might know a little bit about Beyblade. And Beyblade has, I guess, a little bit of a following left. I have no idea if there's still any iterations. Which butt joke in a movie do you like the most? Butt joke. Let's see. That's going to be one I got to think about. Lots of poopable materials, I assume. Oh goodness gracious, yes. The thing about Beyblade is that it was one of those Saturday morning cartoons, and a Saturday morning cartoon like this, keep in mind, it's an anime that is being dubbed over with the intention of attracting a younger crowd. So there's going to be a lot of emphasis with the voice acting. It's going to be cheesy. It's going to be nonsensical. I mean, it's Beyblade. Wait till you see what happens, and it's going to defy the laws of physics. Butt jokes, butt jokes, butt jokes. Gotta have to think of it. Actually, no. I don't think I have to think too hard about it. There was this. It was a YouTube poop that I saw where Robotnik I forget which one it was, but of course, Dr. Robotnik. We all know him as having a huge hiney, so to say, and he does the slamming of the butt down as he's about to play the organ or the giant piano, what have you, and it causes a tidal wave. It was from a YouTube poop from I don't know how long ago. I can't for the life of me find it. Might have been the chairman, might have, but either way, that was one of my favorite ones. Man. 2000s cartoon I watched was Atla, and I'm currently watching Danny Phantom. Danny Phantom I remember because it was one of those cartoons, those Nickelodeon's cartoons, that premiered after the Kids' Choice Awards, and it got so much hype around. In fact, every Kids' Choice Awards, after it was all done, like a new cartoon would premiere. I remember that was the case for the Angry Beavers. I think that was the case for SpongeBob. Danny Phantom was another one, and Danny Phantom got a lot of hype on that channel because it was a Butch Hartman product. He was already, very, very popular with the Fairly Odd Parents. Danny Phantom, I thought, okay, this is going to be like a little action show, very similar to maybe Transformers or something along those lines. I didn't see all of it, but I know it's still got a pretty good following, just like Invader Zim, another popular cartoon. On season 3 of Danny Phantom right now, nice. Oh, Atla being Avatar The Last Airbender. Thank you for clarifying. Yeah, Avatar is incredible. Absolutely incredible. A monumental achievement for animation. I mean, the fact that it still holds up, that a lot of people get into it, they talk about it, they cosplay has it at a lot of conventions, tells you how fantastic the show was as a whole. And I really, really am glad that people are still getting into it. Yeah, Butch, let's see. Butch Hartman has some abysmal moments. No, I've heard of some of those moments, like he copied a lot of art from people who did fan art, but I really haven't paid much attention. I know that he's not the best guy. I'm not too concerned about that. I shouldn't say concerned. I don't really pay a lot of attention. I mean, if it's someone who I feel like gets a ton of attention, like for example, Taylor Swift and the person that she was dating very recently. That got a lot of attention. It's like pop culture gossip. I don't see Butch Hartman as a pop culture guy, even though he worked on a great cartoon, and I don't really pay a lot of attention to him or much of his products anymore. So if he was doing bad stuff, he was doing bad stuff. Which Eggman moment is funniest in '06 in your opinion? I'm guessing you mean Sonic '06. Let's see. I'm gonna have to kind of remember all the cutscenes from that. So I mean, I'm guessing you mean like YouTube poop style, but man, I'm gonna have to say like from my, let's see. I mean, Eggman in Sonic '06 was not a very funny guy for the most part, because this was meant to be like this serious video game story where you have these time and dimensional traveling creatures who are meant to stop a coming apocalypse, and so I am not sure. In fact, Eggman was almost like personality free in that one. There was no nefariousness that I usually see in the other Sonic games, so for the most part. Oh, an unedited moment in Sonic '06. Okay. Is there an unedited? I mean, the thing is that I don't think I have played one scene over and over and over again as many times as I have that initial opening with the boat, like the very opening of the story, where Elise is attacked, Sonic by Eggman, who appears, and the reason is because I've seen that so many times over like before I was working on the poop. I watched it over and over and over again because I was planning on making a Sonic '06 poop for the longest time. And when I finally got around to it, I already knew the opening by heart. So I'm going to say the initial attack, probably the first time that Eggman actually came off as a really credible threat in the Sonic games. Danny Phantom deserves the hype, at least the first two seasons. I've seen some episodes and I've seen some of the storylines, but I mean, the thing about Danny Phantom is that it was very, like, even though it was like this serious, relatively more serious Butch Hartman product, it still had that Butch Hartman, snappy animation, the character designs. So, I mean, it was good, but it didn't grab me, and I wanted it to grab me. I think that the first episode where they're, banning the meat products, I don't know, left a bad taste in my mouth, and it didn't really encourage me to watch future episodes. I will say though that I did like the episode where Danny has that pendant and his date is trying to get it back from him. But yeah, worst Sonic fan fiction Eggman moment. That's got to be the opening, the very opening. I've come to take the Sega Genesis from you and to take the key to its secrets, your tits. So let's see. Hey, what's going on, Hercules? Welcome to the stream. Alright, let's see what we can kick off. Now, here's the thing. I actually have some notes on my phone because I had worked on, like, I actually had some ideas come to me that I didn't have any pen and paper for, so I took them down as notes. So, in this scenario here, what I'm going to have to do is pop open my notes. So, this is, and it's really easy for me because, tell your friends, once you go to this kind of phone, you can't go back. I swear. But I got the pen attachment for it, and holy smokes, is it awesome. So, getting to those notes, let's see. Let's go here, and what we're going to do is pop open this, and of course I'm going to keep my pencil and paper handy because I believe in writing notes more than I believe in typing them down. I swear there's no substitute for that. So, let's get a fresh sheet. And we'll go from there. Thanks. Grew up with Beyblade. Excited to watch what you can do with it. Yeah, this is, I wonder if you grew up with this one. It's Beyblade, I think Metal Force or something like that, or Metal Fighters. I think it's Metal Force. But this is just... Man, this is a fantastic source, and I hope that when it comes out, people love it. Like, there are some YouTube poops that I've made where I feel like the fun that I had in making it is so palpable, and this is definitely one of them where I want to go to this YouTube poop and, oh almost every single chance I get. Switch the two middle guys' mouths. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, so let me show you what is going on real quick first in this scene. Is there any Sonic 06 cutscene moments you unironically like? Give me 1 second, I'll answer that. Oh, I gotta turn the volume up. Right here's good. And yeah, oh my god. The thing about these anime from the, I don't know, 2000s, 2010s is that all the animation, like, look at everyone's just so stiff because it's so, like, it's intended for it to be a product, to supplement the sales of a product. So, you know, maybe I could do something with that. Let me just write that down. Because there was something I was working on. Let's see. Swap mouths. And you probably heard as well how cheesy that voice acting is. Yes, create the poop. What is going on? John Reese, welcome. Welcome, welcome. All right, so I'll focus on switching those mouths maybe a little bit later. One thing I do want to do, there is a scene where, because here's the thing. Let me go to that scene right now. You've got a whole bunch of windmills here. And what I've done is I've started an edit where a seagull comes in and a blade from the windmill smacks it, destroys it. And that's one of the effects I'm working on right now. And it's going to be, I'm sure, nearly done. I think I'll make that. Yeah, it's so stiff watching it. I mean, it's one of, like I said, this is prevalent in so many anime back, like kids anime, I should say, maybe. And it was because, again, it needed to be made a little bit more on the fly. There needed to be tons of episodes produced at once. I mean, look at Yu-Gi-Oh! There, Yu-Gi-Oh! Shows go on forever, and Pokemon, another one. And you know, I will not say anything bad about the way that the art in Pokemon is, but the animation does leave a lot to be desired. It has a lot of that in there, and you can't really say that they made it with the intent of making something that's a little more artful. Oh man, yeah, in anime from the 2000s, when Flash was new, nobody could animate well in Flash. That's another thing. Flash animation, I feel like, I mean, you had some people who were tinkering in it with it in a lot of major studios, but it didn't really become this tour de force until the 2000s. And when it did, that's when it became the preferred method of animating for all of these studios, because it was cheap, it was easy, it was relatively inexpensive, because all you had to do is build the lines digitally, and then you can effectively make whatever you like. And on top of that, it was easy to animate between frames, because all you really had to do was move the lines, and you could keep the characters stiff if you wanted to, which, and keep in mind, I'm not saying that stiff characters are a bad thing in animation. Let me just adjust this a little bit more. I think you can still hear me. Yeah, this is a lot better, a lot more comfortable. But too much, and it starts to become a lot more evident. I wonder if let's see. I wonder if I'll still watch the Pokemon anime, though. I mean, definitely give it a shot. I mean, the thing is that you can tell that, actually, I don't know if you were there for the original Pokemon anime when it exploded, like late 90s, but there is a lot of nostalgia behind it. So much nostalgia for me personally, and I think actually this is pretty good the way it is. Like the feathers, you can see that they're coming from the top of a frame. I would probably have to edit out the top of the frame in order to make it a lot better. So maybe edit out the feathers that are falling from the top. But anyways, the Pokemon anime, I mean, for me, has so many memories behind it, because I remember, I think it was like in 2nd or 3rd grade at the time, I would wake up early to catch it, and in addition, the episodes, like, I watched it back then on WB, and I think that they were playing them out of order when they were on before school. So my first episode was the Bridge Bike Gang. Not the very first Pokemon episode chronologically, but for me. So if you watch it, you'll probably get a really good sense of what people really loved, and oh man, that theme song is so damn catchy. It has no right to be that good. Alright, let's see. We got a mask here. mask in order to make the feather effects a lot better. So let's get to work on that. Just the first mask, and I can check out the chat as I'm doing this. Yeah, when I think of Flash animated shows, I think of My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic. So when I think of animated shows, I think almost exclusively about some of the early Nickelodeon shows, chiefly Fairly Odd Parents, and like, oh man, that show was Flash animation up the wazoo. Like, it was like you could tell by the lines, it was so bold, and then I feel like as the 2000s went on and people realized how easy it is to learn Flash animation and use it for your own shows, more and more shows pivoted. But I feel like the best example of a show that really pioneered Flash animation is the Fairly Odd Parents, and I felt like it's also a good example because the way that it's so snappy with the jokes, it really matches the humor in that show. Oh, another good show like that, Dexter's Lab, Johnny Bravo, pretty much the Cartoon Network series. Those Cartoon Network shows, the Powerpuff Girls 2, I guess the whole cartoon series, they were all so spectacularly done in Flash to the point where you could hail it as almost revolutionary in how styles are concerned. In fact, I still think that Fairly Odd Parents, Dexter's Lab, and shows like Johnny Bravo, Powerpuff Girls especially, those shows were so good at defining their styles despite it being a very commonly used software in those early 2000s, or a moderately growing software in the early 2000s. I was born after the late 90s. Okay, so after the late 90s, that means that, man, I wish there was a way to make people feel just how big Pokemon was in the late 90s. Like, it was everywhere. It was on Broadway. The movie exploded. Exploded, like, in popularity. So many people, kids chiefly, saw it. There was merchandise everywhere. You couldn't watch any kids network without seeing an advertisement for a Pokemon product, be it a game, a watch, a toy, a plush, anything. Let me see how things are looking so far. Oh, I have to make this a negative mask. Whoops. All right, let's get that done. Why don't we? Let's see. That's odd. I wonder why it's disabled now. Yeah, whatever. I'll just get to work on it. Let's see. Probably have to select it as well. Man. Right. Yeah, there we go. Just needed to select it. So yeah, those times. What is going on, Cyber Cults? Welcome to the stream. Let's see. But yeah, to your point, Carnage, I don't like the way the ponies are drawn, though. Next to G2, G3.5, G4's style is the worst, which puts it about the middle. So I do like the designs of the ponies in that show. I think that's I guess for a lot of people who grew up with the incredible Brony explosion, I can see that being a big thing for them, where they see the show and it's just, a revolution when it comes to these, how you can tell a kid's story. I mean, I'm not going to say it's a total revolution. I mean, I still think that it's nothing groundbreaking in how it tells its stories, but I do think that it did put in a much more concerted effort than other shows. But the animation is pretty good. I will not deny that the animation is really good. I love the colors. I love the way that the way that the characters move in accordance to their styles, their personalities, and I also like the way that the environments are designed. I think that this is a well-imagined show. It has no right to be that well produced. So I don't blame people for for loving it. I do still kind of feel an amazement that it was this popular and gained so much attention as a consequence. Some good, some bad. I like the animation style for the G4 show more than the G4 movie. I still gotta see that movie. Danny Phantom and My Little Pony both have. Oh yeah, that's true. He's gotta get him all because he's Danny Phantom. That theme song slaps pretty well. Yo, Danny Phantom. He was just 14 wearing his parents built a very strange machine designed to see the world unseen. Which is, I think that's one of the best Nickelodeon themes that they put out, that whole Danny Phantom theme song. Alright, now let's keep going. Let's see if the feather positions change anymore. If so, I'll just have to adjust the masks respective to their positions. Isn't the G4 movie extremely well animated though? I've only seen previews for it, but it does look very well animated. I think that when it comes to any theatrical release for like television cartoons, usually the animation budget is going to soar to the point where you have to really live up to that budget. We saw this like with the Powerpuff Girls movie, especially with the Powerpuff Girls movie. You saw different shading, you saw different, like I guess more bolder designs and bolder animation with the other characters that are usually routinely in the show itself, like Professor Utonium. And in addition, you also had like a lot more, like the characters, like the villain, especially Mojo Jojo, had so much more expression than in the show. Again, that just goes to a higher animation budget. And if anything, that the My Little Pony movie, I'm sure, is a great example. Again, I've still got to see it. I don't even know if I'm gonna be, quote unquote, getting anything, because I think it came out in 2016, didn't it? I'm long past the show. Like, I have no context for any events that happened in it. Oh man, Pokemon was big in the Pokemon was big to mid in the mid 2010s with X and Y and Sun and Moon. Yeah, I mean the game still sold like hotcakes. In fact, if you look online for Heart Gold and Soul Silver, then you'll see they have incredibly exorbitant price tags, because those are, well, first off, Heart Gold and Soul Silver, fantastic recreations of Gold and Silver, but it's also hard to find new on shelves nowadays. I'm not giving up any of my games. I know how much they're worth, but I don't know. The only time I'll ever get rid of a game is if I hate it, and I did that with Tony Hawk Ride, MLB 2K9, but anything else, no, that's not me. I'm not going to give up any games, regardless of how much they pay me. Or rather, unless it's a gift. That's fair. Whew. So, Gen 6 and 7 were only a fraction of Gen 1 and 2's popularity. I mean, Gen 1 and 2, I'm going to take a wild stab and say that it's the same with Pokemon, with the way that the initial season, the very first season that was broadcast, it was so big, and I don't blame, I wouldn't be surprised if future iterations just could not keep up with that level of popularity, because, once something explodes onto the scene, it's almost so impossible to maintain that momentum. So it's going to gradually dip, but still remain popular. And it's the same with Pokemon. The games still sell out. The games are, like, regardless of the quality. I haven't played Scarlet or, I think, Scarlet and Violet, but they're still very, hot-selling games, and they get a lot of attention. Some of it very, very good. And I've heard people defend those games nowadays because of how robust the world is. In spite of the glitches. They were better than Sword and Shield, though. Hang on. So the thing is, I actually stopped playing Pokemon after Sun and Moon, because for me, Sun and Moon was my opportunity to really kind of go back into it and see what I've missed, because I played all the games up to Pokemon Platinum, and then I stopped, largely because I had a 3DS, and when the 3DS came out, the iterations of Pokemon that were coming out were still for the regular DS, so I felt, why would I take a step down if I know that's just going to be a DS game? I don't think I'll just wait for the 3DS games. But also, I felt like the games didn't really innovate a ton. Like, when I think about innovation in Pokemon games, I think about the transition from Red and Blue to Gold and Silver, because those, the world exploded so much in Gold and Silver. It was so vibrant in color. It was, very different. You had night and day, even, and you even had the Kanto region. As soon as I stepped foot in the Kanto region, I looked at my map and I realized what it had done. There is no moment in Pokemon that has made me feel like that. since. I would love to have a Pokemon game where I step out into the world and then I complete the main part of the game, and then it tells me, hey, you got to go somewhere. And once I go there, I realize, oh my god, this is a prior generation. The closest I've ever felt is um, Fire Red and Leaf Green, where the Seven Islands were put in. I like the Seven Islands, but it just doesn't hold a candle to what Pokemon Gold and Silver did. Still is amazing. Oh, I'm sorry you got suspended off Twitter, Cyber. All right. I think G4 was extremely overrated. The reason it blew up is because an astronomical step up of what had come a couple years before. I think that there was. So here's the thing. I think that a lot of people caught it caught a lot of attention initially because there was some undeserved bad press about how the ponies were portrayed as far as race is concerned. It was so overblown, and then people watched it out of curiosity. Why was it getting all this heat from this one person who wrote a bad article about it? Then people realized, oh, this is actually a quality cartoon, and then it spread, and then I have no idea. But either way, I mean, it's kind of like how with some anime, the designs are so cute that you can't ignore it. It's going to stay in your head. And I think that's what happened with My Little Pony. I mean, this fandom did incredible things, I will say. Like the art, the YouTube poops especially. I love a lot of My Little Pony YouTube poops, regardless of, you know, what they think about the show. I think that it's I've seen a lot of fantastic poops. I think I mentioned one in a prior stream. God burns down Equestria to for insurance money. Still one of my favorites. I mean, I think that that's just a perfect example of the level of creativity that came from those kinds of sources. It's funny how Beyblade has it's flash for the characters, but the backgrounds still look like watercolor painted. It's true. A lot of I mean, you do have a lot of those backgrounds that have that nice watercolor paint. That this one right here, another good example. I think that when it comes to anime, I think most of it's gone digital, but when it started going digital, it became very noticeable in that you could tell that the backgrounds weren't those brilliant watercolor paints that you would see from the 90s, some 80s, and that was really off-putting for me personally because I loved seeing those paints. Nowadays, it's gotten so much better with the style and the design, and as art in general in that space has improved immensely. So I'm not going to bemoan the loss of watercolor paints, but I would love to, like Miyazaki and Studio Ghibli, they clearly do that still with great success. And other studios that, you know, want to do something like that, I'm not gonna, you know, not gonna say you shouldn't do it now, since, you know, digital is doing the exact same thing. I'll definitely respect the effort, though. Just need to take a sip here and there. Whew. But you can't blame people for his being inappropriate about their crushes. Oh, good golly gosh, yeah. That was just out of hand. I've seen that a lot. People posting their, you know, man, the grown adults posting about which ponies were the sexiest. It was everywhere. It was like DeviantArt. I think that got to the point where, yeah, I think 4chan had to make a different board just for those people because they were all over the place, and that kind of kept them there. So let's see. I need to check on. Okay, if I keep this, so I make this fall. What happens if I adjust this mask ever so slightly? Ever so slightly. What do I get? I think I like this better. So let's see. Now, how does this look? How does this move? I'm going to have to let it load a little clearly. Yeah, it was an above average show, though. Okay. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's a really good show. It had no right to be as good as it was, but they put in a lot of effort to do that. Good on them. I'll respect a good quality product regardless. Let's see. I need to get this little bit out of the frame. The show's animation is more charm to the movie itself. I like seasons 1 through 7, but the 8. Yeah, I mean, I can't think of any stream I've had where we have discussed My Little Pony. I guess it's still as popular as. Whew, I guess it's still as popular, or at least on people's minds, as it was back then. Alright, let's see. Elon didn't like me. Yep. Oh well. He doesn't like a lot of people. The movie was 2007. Okay. Which Pokemon game is your favorite and least favorite? Favorite is, oh man, I'm gonna say it's a tie between the Red series, the Red and Blue series, and the Gold and Silver series. The Red and Blue series because everybody had Red and Blue, so I could very easily find somebody during recess before school hours or something like that, and I would be able to battle them. I would be able to battle them, maybe trade. And keep in mind, Pokemon cards were banned from my school because of, supposed, wealth or gamble trading, what have you. It really was a load, but I can see why they did it. But the games were still fine. People brought their Game Boys and all that. It was all right. But Red and Blue for that reason, and also just the fact that I could rare candy trick all of my Pokemon to level 100 and have some awesome battles. Plus the world in that side, the world blew my mind. The world blew my mind because I could not conceive how big it was, and yet the cartridge so small. Gold and Silver, for the very same reason, I remember helping. So one thing about the Gold and Silver games is that I remember my then girlfriend had it, and when I say girlfriend, I mean keep in mind I was in like 4th grade. So my then girlfriend had it, and she had given it to me because she needed help getting through. I think it was the forest after Azalea. Yeah, it was the forest after Azalea Town. And after I got her, while getting her through it, I found a whole bunch of hidden items because there were hidden items everywhere in that forest. And she saw me pick them up, and she was elated each time I did something like that. And that's a core memory, I think, or at least a really core memory. The jump from Red to Blue to Gold to Silver was still the biggest jump in the series. I completely agree. I'd say Pokemon games peaked between 2 and 5. Crystal had gorgeous animations for the Pokemon, and Emerald was great. It blows my mind how expensive Emerald is now. So Emerald I never had because I didn't have a Game Boy Advance, or not Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color to play it. Because if you tried to put it into the old Game Boys or the Game Boy Pockets, it would say this game is made exclusively for the Game Boy Color. And only after I got a Game Boy Color was I able to see the beautiful shades that were on Gold and Silver, but I still didn't get Emerald at the time. Really wish I did. Oh wait, was Emerald, let's see, was Emerald the Ruby Sapphire series, or, no, shoot, I might be mixing up the games. There was like that Pokemon, just like how the special edition for Red and Blue was yellow. I forget what it was for Gold and Silver. Whatever the case. Yeah, Gen 7 is my favorite because Sun and Moon. Yeah, I don't blame you. I like Gen 7 a little bit, but I'm still waiting for that leap. I haven't played Arceus, but I do hear good things about how much better it is, how it's the game that Pokemon fans have really, really wanted. Still trying to figure out how to get this little slip gone. I know there's a way to do it. Let me just close this for a second. That's this layer. This layer represents what? So if I take this layer out, what does it look like? Okay, so this layer is covering up this Beyblade, which I need to happen in order for this effect to be achieved. So, given that, if I open this, then I can this along, I should see the exact same thing here. But as I do this, it's weird. I wonder why this is flying unless maybe I need to put this on the level above. Is that why? This is going to require some brain power that I can't withhold for a stream. So I'll get to that later. Hey, I have that guy holding a Yu-Gi-Oh card, lol. He looks like he's about to summon Exodia, kind of, but the hand's a little bit... So I guess I should offer context. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to get this Beyblade. So you can see it fly up. Now I did this on an earlier stream. I was able to get the Beyblade, as you can see here, to land on his head, smack. But without that effect, what happens is, let me just see if I can remove that. Here we go. What happens is the Beyblade just flies up and away behind him. So this is just going to be one of those effects that changes the trajectory of an object. So that's going to require some attention from me that I may have to dedicate maybe toward the latter half of the stream. What is going down, Mikey B? Welcome to the stream. Man. Let's see. Emerald was a fusion of Sapphire and Ruby. Gold and Silver Crystal version. Thank you. Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, Diamond, Pearl, Platinum. Yep, I remember having Platinum. Yep, I remember. Oh, that was your idea. Oh my gosh. Going back on all of those streams, like, I'm still trying to remember all of the little tiny idiosyncrasies I did back in the stream. But there's been a lot done since then, and some of it I'm holding back on showing because there are a lot of effects that I'm really proud of, and maybe I'll show them here and there. But let's see. Also, I want the Yu-Gi-Oh sound effect for this. I think I got that in there, and we had this conversation. Now, you've got to hear these people talk. I think quite a few of you have already heard it, but a lot of the way that these characters talk is just ripe Saturday morning animation talk.
In the end, the only way to get better is to get better.
That voice for starters, and then you have...
Alright!
Alright, and then...
Alright! Alright!
This shout right here.
Alright!
This I cannot wait to use more and more often. That's just prime. And then you've got the ever popular... Let's see if this is it. There's a bummer. I think that the bummer is somewhere... Like, I've used bummer a lot already in these, but I'm going to use it more and more often. It's one of those perfect effects. Yes, what is going on? Valor! Valor Zero Advent. In the end, it doesn't really matter. Oh, that's a good one. Hold on. Hold on.
In the end, the only way...
Oh yeah, in the end, it doesn't really matter. The song from Linkin Park. Yes. You know, I can't believe how many of these clips are so ripe. Like, this character right here.
I have a cold. Next time, you should try using my Beyblade. You could get a lot further using an attack type, don't you think?
Well, thanks. But I want to get stronger with Sagittario. I think we make a good team. I know we can win together. Right, Sagittario, old buddy?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean, this level of acting, you can only find in cartoons like these. So, I'm gonna... Let's see, the very first time I did this stream, I worked on the very beginning parts of this. So, I'm going to kind of move toward the middle a little bit more. There are some parts that I did start, and I do want to implement a lot of the ideas that I did write down. Is it me or is your mic low? Let me fix that. See if I can hike the gain a little bit. Let me know if this is a little bit better. Yeah, if this is quite low, then let me see if that fixes it. If that doesn't, this ought to fix it. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, mic gain is low. This might do the trick. So what it is that I'm using, you know, this setup right here, and this setup I don't typically pull out often, except when I do need to use it. It's, you know, I've got this studio microphone with a Focusrite in order to convert into the computer, so it might just be that if my gain, like if I raise the gain a little bit more. Let's see. When he says right Sagittario, maybe there should be a shouted no clip in the response. Ooh, that's a solid idea. Right Sagittario. Ooh, yeah, man, that's a good one. Especially if it's like a CDI no or something like that.
I know we can win together, right, Sagittario, old buddy?
Like, oh gosh. Keep in mind, they're trying to sell toys here. They're trying to sell toys so hard in this show. Or the CDO Mario go. Yes, that's exactly what I'm thinking, Luna.
Right, Sagittario, old buddy?
Like, there are two no's that I can think of. Yeah, it's perfect. I figured that would be the case. So, there are two no's that I can think of. The Mario no and the Guanum no. CDI Mario no would be the best. Well, let's see. I think I may already have CDI Mario in here somewhere. No, I don't. Let's add it. Import. Let's go to the YTP folder. This is where I usually keep some more general clips or clips for other unspecific projects. And we'll hunt Mario. Let's see. Green screen, cutscene. There we go. And then we're gonna look for the no section, which comes during the Larry's Cave Hotel. I'm just gonna grab this little bit. Oops. Put it right here and get that no. Oh wait, I think I went a little too far. That's alright. Yeah, this is when for some odd reason it explodes. I forget why. I don't know why this hotel explodes, so to say. Alright, there's the too many toasters. Yeah. Yeah. It needs like every Mario no needs a little bit of distortion by rule.
No.
I think that distortion makes that no what it is. There's a little bit of it in this 720 version, which I like. So let's get back to that clip, which is a little toward the start, and we're gonna there's our hero character that you're gonna see a little bit later. That's a little bit something else. That's not. There we go.
I know we can win together, right, Sagittario, old buddy?
Yeah. The thing I like about the Mario no is that it's iconic. The thing I like about the Guanum no is that it's quick, it's snap. It's almost like you can hear it in the background. Like, not the disintegrations, but oh yeah, I forget there are more than one no's, like the boss deaths. Please, Mario. That is YTP Law 44. Yes, it is. Duke Lonk it is. Oh my god. One thing I love about doing streams like these is they allow me and you guys to reminisce about YouTube poops like this. I mean, they're still around, but most of them are still around. Alright.
Buddy!
No.
I think I'll make it a softer no here.
Buddy!
No.
This is just such a wonderful joke to add. That's so, like, it's the kind of thing that would be so reflective of the 2007, 2008 YouTube poops from Deeper Cut and myself and maybe a couple of others. Yeah, might as well test it. I've got the Wand of Gamelon clips in here already. Yeah, all Zelda Wand of Gamelon cutscenes. So what I want is... Oh, wait, no. It's not It's Faces of Evil is what it is. Faces of Evil. I think I have Faces of Evil in here. If I don't, I should add it. Faces of Evil. Link, yeah, this is remastered, yada yada. I think that nobody cares how it's remastered as long as they can use it in a YouTube poop. Alright, so let's go to the very start. Just grab this part and we'll create the borders as such. And I can, come on, pull it in.
Is enough. Grab my stuff. There is no.
Yep.
No.
There we go. This is the no from Guanum. It's quick. Let me just fine tune it a little bit.
No.
Because it sounds like note.
No.
Yeah. There we go. It's like the joke that I made from the Obi-Wan Force Feeds Queer Gungeon is Mansaber. Anakin cries, "Will I ever see you again?" No. That's why I like that snappy no. I think both are optional, very good options. What's the scene after he says the old buddy line? Can you insert CDI Mario face on the Beyblade? The thing is that the CDI Mario, like, he's holding the Beyblade in his hands. He's clutching it. You can't see it. So it's not going to be... That's why I like the Guanum no. It's almost like it can be muffled. It can... Like with the Mario... Well, actually, I think the Mario no can also be muffled. Let's just play them both and see which one works best. Let's go to this scene right here. So I'll play them both. Let me just make sure this is right.
No.
So I'm going to play these scenes in full. Let's see which one is better.
I know we can win together, right, Sagittario, old buddy?
No.
That's one. There's two.
I know we can win together, right, Sagittario, old buddy?
No.
Let's see. Which one? Which one? Either way, there's a winner. So it's just a matter of preference here.
Old buddy?
No.
Let's see what it sounds like with the music as well.
Right, Sagittario, old buddy?
No.
It's tough. I'm still leaning toward the Guanum now.
Right, Sagittario, old buddy?
No.
I think that I'll keep this Mario note here in case I change my mind. Sometimes I can't make up my mind. The Mario one is better in my opinion. I mean, yeah.
No.
Maybe when his mouth is just a straight line, you could turn it into a triangle. You mean like this?
Buddy?
No.
Right, Sagittario, old buddy?
No.
Actually, that's a pretty good idea. I could change shapes.
I know we can win together.
Yeah, actually, that's a pretty solid idea right there. Like, just in general, changing the shape of the mouth. It can make it a square, it can make it a triangle, because that's the thing. Like, when he's... The animation for the opening and closing of the mouth...
Together, right, Sagittario, old buddy?
It's just that. It's just that. It's just opening and closing. So maybe I can make this edit really nice. So for something like that, I'm going to need to very briefly switch into full, because what I'm going to do in order to achieve that effect, I need to take a snapshot of this, save it, no, not to play phrase, not to play phrase, I need to save it toward Beyblade. There we go. I'll save this as mouth level. I'll just say mouth level because that's going to be the easiest to classify it as. So let's go to mouth level, let's pull it in, and what I'm going to do here, let's see, oops. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to get the clip to,
I know.
oh yeah, I have to change it from best back to default auto. There we go. Upside down mouth would be pretty funny, yeah. And Budditario, oh gosh. Budditario Old Bunny is another one. I can't believe I missed that. Sorry, Many Color Journal, I missed that one too. Sagittarial old Sagi.
We can win together.
I like the simplicity of these edits. So let's get right about here is where, like when his head stops moving. It's just his mouth moving now. I think there's some period of... Okay, here we go. And then we'll let his mouth flap a little bit until we get to a line like this. Let me make sure that this line is a line and it's not going to bleed. I don't see any bleeding. I see no bleeding. That works with me. Let's see. That means I can go up to here. Now, what I'm going to do here, let's see, I just want to get the part that comes right before the transition. Actually, I don't need to keep it on best for this. Right here. Just go like that. And then I'm going to just stretch it like so. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to delete, well, not delete the layer yet, but I do need that mouth, that open mouth shape. So what I need to do is get, here we go. Switch it back to best. Get a snapshot of the mouth. I'm going to cut it out using masking. I'll just use this one, classify it as mouth. That way, it can be superimposed really easily over that character. So let's delete this now that I don't need it anymore. Uh-oh, did I? Okay, good. Oof. And switch to preview auto again so that we have a smoother stream on this. Hello, my birthday was 3 days ago, but could you please wish me a happy birthday? It would mean a lot from someone whose poops... Yeah, absolutely, Henry. Happy birthday, my man. Let's see. What's a good way to celebrate happy birthday? Let's see. Well, first things first, thank you so much for joining the stream. I'm hoping you had a really good birthday. And I'm really happy that you were enjoying my videos in your years. I mean, let me tell you, I never get tired of messages like that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for popping in, and I'm really, really glad that you can make that time. Have a wonderful weekend, my man. Oof. Yeah, I never get tired of that. That's one thing that, I mean, I should never get tired of. All right. Yeah, tell me, right, Sagittarial old and ugly buddy. Oh man. Here we go. Let's get that mouth out. Having a birthday party tonight. Sweet. Where are you gonna have it? Any place exciting? You gonna do anything big? Here we go. Now we can superimpose this over that so that this mouth is here. So I love the fact that the mouth can be edited so easily now, and I know where to make those edits. So let's do this. Let's start with the first thing that I think I saw some post on stream, turning the mouth upside down. And for that, I just need to flip it vertically and realign it. And it's gonna be set to, oh man, this looks incredible. I need to go, I have to remember that when moving this, up is down and down is up. And this having birthday parties, me too. I mean, you're never too old for a birthday party. If you have to throw in yourself, throw in yourself. My family's house, just family, friends, pizza, and video games. Good, that's the classic one right there, the pizza. Everybody needs to have pizza at the party. Okay, now let's move it down until we get to the here we are. I think this is good. I don't want to go too far down because then it's going to expose that line mouth there, but I think this is really solid right here. And I just need that to flap for barely a second. And then I'm going to have it return to this mouth again. Oops, don't want to cut all of that. Oh my god. The thing it reminds me of, that mouth shape, what it reminds me of is like some edits I see of Tiger Woods, where because Tiger Woods was such a huge like Nike sponsor that sometimes his mouth would be warped into that Nike swoosh logo. Now, what we can do here
Other right.
is get that triangle shape, and that's not too hard to do. It just requires a little extra masking. So, for example, I have the mouth cut out like so. All I need to do is erase a few of these anchor points, and you'll see the mouth start to transform in accordance. So if we want that triangle shape, I wonder if it'll look better from the bottom down or something. Let's see. I'm just going to adjust the point of this triangle. Yeah, oh man. I think that's a good solid option. Get the mouth to close again. Might as well see if I can get that similar triangle effect, but inverted. So this is that point. Here we go. And I'm going to shift that. Ooh, that's going to be troublesome. Okay, I can't do that, but that's all right, because this is exposing the line mouth. The first version did not do that. But I can make some other things happen with the mouth, namely let's see, I can warp it in another way. I can maybe make it actually better yet, I wonder if I can just simply use one of the classic Vegas effects, a swirl and a punch. Triangle idea is if it's flipped right side up. Yeah, I think that the way that or a sideways triangle. Yeah, I mean I think that the triangle, this one right here is a really good one, but at the same time I think that to avert the line mouth from showing, I mean obviously we could just get rid of that. But let's see. Let's do a pinch and punch effect to start. Let's see what it looks like. Let's go ham on these effects and see what we end up with. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's fix that. Just need a slight scaling check. Oh my goodness. I'm going to have to be very delicate with the positioning of this in order to get it right. Right here. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Let's move it back a smidge. And then, let's see. I want to get its positioning on the other axis, the y-axis, right? Ooh. Oh my gosh. I need to get that mouth properly positioned. That way it doesn't block. Oh my god. Yeah, I think, oh man, this right here. Oh boy. That's why I love the pinch punch effect, because of this. You get results that look like this. Right there. Oh my god. so far we've got his mouth is practically. I can't stop looking at it. This is incredible. All right, I can't dwell on this for too long. I've got to make up more of these edits. So let's do this. Add another. Let's see what the swirl effect can do for us. The swirl effect, another Vegas staple from I mean, I don't know a single YouTube poop that was made in Vegas in 2000 that did not employ a swirl effect. So this is an intensive swirl. If we shrink the amount, what do we end up? Ooh, we end up with this. I think this is interesting. This is interesting. If I reposition it so that, can I reposition it in such a way that it covers up? Let's see here. Let's move it along the X and the Y axis to see what kind of results we get. I think maybe I can even, ooh, wait. Oh, I think, all right, I'm gonna just move it on the pan and crop. I just need to get it to cover the mouth. Oh yeah, if it's a swirl effect, it's going to alter how it moves. It looks slightly like Izuku. I don't know where Izuku's from. I've still got to catch up on my anime. I'm just trying to watch so much. I feel like the mouths can highlight how annoying he is and how his Beyblade Sagittarius actually despises him. Alright, here we go. Let's get centered. Now, this is one interesting mouth position, but I feel like there is something else that we can do. So, I'm going to keep it right here. I'm just gonna. I can still see some outline from the mask that we've applied. So for that, I'm gonna apply a feather. Thinking I should feather out just so we can get rid of that black line that you can see. It's almost like he's got this goatee almost. If we can get rid of it, that would be a really good thing. Oh, that makes it worse. Feather in instead. If we feather in. Increase by 1. And, alright, that's pretty good. Now, let's go to the deform effect. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can stretch the mouth. And if I can stretch the mouth, how far can I stretch it? I don't want to compress it, but I want it to get almost like this incredibly stretched out effect. What does it look like at the end? Yeah, it's blurry, but that's okay. Remember, this is one of those things where it doesn't matter how it's going to, like, it doesn't have to be like this incredibly professional look, but I do want it to be really stretched out. So let's get this pre-positioned on the spot over the mouth. Oh man, it's almost like a duck face. And then just put a little bit lower, and it should rest in place just like that. Yeah, this is almost like a duck face. Look, it's almost not a duck face, but shoot, what's that? Man, it's almost anthropomorphic, like he's an animal. And this is his nose right here. Maybe invert the brown and the white in the eyes. Or maybe do something else with the eyes too. Remember, these eyes stay stiff during this whole thing. So we could replace the eyes if we wanted to. Let's see. Let's see how it sounds, of course.
Right, Sagittarius? Together, right, Sagittario, old buddy?
Oh man, there, I forgot about the buddy part. Okay, I don't know, for some odd reason I think about that. I think about the word butt buddy, but I don't know if it's the right. I don't know if it's wise to use it with a kid in this edit. Switch the brown and the white. Yeah, I thought about what you said, the switching of the brown and the white. I would need to just simply isolate the eyes and use an inversion effect. I'm thinking instead about just cutting the eye holes out and replacing them with other eyes. Which sounds horrible, but... Alright, let's see. Let's just stretch this all the way here. And... I'm going to work on that sentence mix. The right budetario old Saggy.
Old buddy! Buddy!
Oh my god.
Buddy! Buddy!
There is so much to pull from in this just one episode of the show.
Right, Sagittario! Sagittario! Sagittario!
Let's just do a simple switch here. Simple audio switch, never hurt anybody.
Right, buddy, Terry! Right, buddy, Terry! Old Sagittario!
No.
Right, buddy, Terry! Right, buddy, Terry! Old Sagittario!
I think I'll just keep the buddy here. I don't need to add the Saggy.
Right, buddy, Terry! Old buddy!
No.
Buddy, Terry! Buddy, Terry!
Just get this sounding a little bit better.
Right, buddy, Terry! Buddy, Terry! Old buddy!
No.
Captain, your voice volume's still... Oh, I'm talking to myself, so that's probably got a lot to do with it. The short scene alone is ripe for edits. Yes, absolutely. If I'm sounding better now, it's just because I'm talking a little softer, so that might have a lot to do with it. But if my voice volume is still down, then I think that it's time to swap out the Focusrite. Alright, so let's go back here. I need to...
Buddy!
No.
And win together! Right, buddy, Terry! Old buddy!
Wait a minute, what just happened? Did I remove something by mistake? Oh no, I didn't. Okay, good. Maybe play the noise and invert it, then repeat. The noise is probably going to be a good...
Old buddy!
No.
Yeah, there are actually a couple of those noises. Bro, I can barely hear you. Hold on. How am I coming in now, Cyber? Is this a lot better? Let me know if this is a lot better, okay? Wait. Huh. Okay, so Journal, you can hear me. Cyber, you can barely hear me. What's going on here? Huh. I did increase the microphone gain, so if that helps things, let me know. It could just be something else. Maybe it's the phone, but if you can hear the quality of the source that I'm using really clearly,
Terry! Old buddy!
then yeah, maybe that's... I don't know what it is. Yeah, I mean, Hercules, you're hearing me fine. That's great. Anyway, back to this. There are actually several of these grunts here. I'm going to play them for you. Yeah, it goes, I feel like that could be reversed if it wanted to. Guy on the far right looks like he's... Oh, God! He is going #1. Oh, my God! Oh, my God! Journal, that's a really good spot. The editor volume is too high. Alright. Yeah, I see him. This guy right here. Does he move throughout this one scene? No, he doesn't. He stays put. Oh, good golly gosh. What were they thinking? Okay. Let's focus on reversing this. That way I get that grunt.
No.
Just have a P sound effect in the background. I'm thinking of something else. So, this guy, man, I wonder if it's possible to just add a urinal down here and then add a P effect to your idea, Hercules. Well, let's go to our internet browser and search urinals. Let's see what we get. Oh my god. Yeah, I feel like having a P sound effect in the background might... So here's the thing, I never noticed that guy in the background until you pointed him out, Journal, so I'm not sure how many other people would see him unless I did something that drew attention. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to grab a urinal from Google, and I'm going to mask it out. I'm going to have it brought down in front. Let's see, save image as. Maybe you could have Silver saying urine. Yeah, I can't have... Let's see. I think that they're... Yeah. Yeah, now I remember the urine sound effect from Silver. And, can't be a good YouTube poop with a video without urinal search results. You got that right. You got that right. Oh, man. The things that Google has to wonder, because, you know, they're looking at our search results. They're wondering, why the hell are we searching urinals? Oddly enough, that wouldn't be the weirdest thing that I've had to search for this YouTube poop. The urine line from worse, yeah, that's the one. Let's see. I need to go to Beyblade and pull that urinal. My god, I cannot believe the incredible potential that you can find in just some simple scenes. I love it. So what I'm going to do first, mask the output aspect so it matches and it doesn't cut off at any point. And now it's time to mask, because if I use a chroma key here, it's going to be white on white, the urinal's white. That's just setting myself up for trouble. So I'm going to have to go the old-fashioned way, or rather the hard way, or not the hard way, but the time-consuming way. And make a mask. Doesn't have to be a sophisticated mask here. I just need to get certain points of this, because no one's going to notice if things are squared off here. Let's go through the motions, and perfect. And then I'll pull the urine line. I think I remember. Man, it comes just before Sonic goes what, and then Silver says, "I need to rescue the princess. I need to circumcise the princess." Because I, for some odd reason, when I made that, I thought, I remember him saying Europe. I guess not. Honestly, it's a lot of fun watching a short scene and then working with a team to poop it as much as humanly possible. Absolutely. How about the slow and painful way? I think that having it, having it on stream, like, especially when it's so dense with options, is really cool. Plus, it makes the final product that much more rewarding. I cannot wait for this to come out completed. It's got a lot of stuff that needs to get done. I think that this will be a good on and off kind of stream thing for us. Let's pick up where we left off. thing about some of these shows is that, I mean, Beyblade isn't the only show that can probably do with this kind of treatment. I mean, this is just one of the ones that I decided on doing because I found it on YouTube. There are probably so many other types of shows like this that I'm not even thinking of, maybe that have that same level of corniness in the voice acting. Like, for all I know, there could be like, let's see, I haven't seen it, but maybe Yokai Watch could have that. Or maybe, let's see, this is going a ways back, maybe a little further ways back, but there was this show called Duel Masters, and I have no idea if that gained any ground. I remember, I think on some of the early 2000s channels there was Metabots. Obviously there's Digimon. There's so many seasons of Digimon to choose from. I actually thought about doing all of the seasons way back in 2008 because I thought since the first one was such a hit I should do the others. In fact, the even got surround sound joke from the tennis match with Deeper Cut. I actually pulled that song and used it in the YouTube poop because that portion of the opening theme is so, I don't know, it was just so catchy to me that I couldn't ignore it, and I felt I have to do something with it sooner rather than later, rather than wait until I get to that season, because that was like season 3 of Digimon, I think. It was season 3 or season 4, whatever. But I had to use it. I'm sure you could do this with so many 2000 cartoons, like Hamtaro. I've seen Hamtaro poops done this way. Zack, okay. First off, is it Zack Bell or Zatch Bell? I've heard both, but yeah, probably Zatch Bell. I remember I knew someone who was fervent that it was Zatch Bell, not Zack Bell. Now, I don't need to, actually no, do I have to do a lot of masking with this guy? Because I need him to stand in the relative foreground for this effect to work. So, let's see, I gotta be very careful with the masking on this one. Very, very careful. So I'm going to get as close to the lines as possible. Then, if anything stands out, I'll worry about it then. I'll adjust the masking as such. That way, when we get to the step where we have the toilet, or the urinal rather, appearing, it's going to kind of pan down from the top and make that sound, or rather, maybe I don't need the P sound, maybe I just need urine, urine, urine. Great callback idea. And I don't think I need to go anywhere here specifically. I can just cut it off right below the knees because the urinal is going to end up right about there. At least the bottom of the urinal is going to end up there. Cut the edges, get the neck, head with the cap. Then I am gonna just get the rounded bill of the cap, make my way back to the top of the head, and close the mask. And it's gonna hopefully look as good as I want it to. It's probably not going to be good in the first shot, but I'll make those edits where I need to. So the urinal, what I'm doing here is I'm going to shrink the urinal to make it, sizable enough where it could be used here. So if I put it right here, it's not, that's actually not bad. Yeah, this is pretty good. Right here, look. I don't have to adjust the mask or anything. Nice. Alright, so let's get it to right here, and then have the urinal come down about this point. So let's see. Comes down from the top, and let's see. 2000s are probably my favorite cartoon decade because of Avatar. I don't blame you. I think that, let's see, cartoons like in the 2000s, I mean, I think that, a lot of Saturday morning cartoons that were being imported from Japan, I think that the 2000s really made it evident that that kind of storytelling and that kind of attention to detail in those kinds of cartoons was favorable to kids, regardless of how relatively dark the material was. Because back in the 80s, I think you did have some cartoons that told a story chronologically. Don't quote me on that, but I think that, shows like Transformers may have done something like that, G.I. Joe. But in addition, they were doing so with almost like a lesson at the end and those morals, because they had to make it for kids. But that kind of all went out the window with a lot of these 2000s cartoons. I mean, you still had shows with morals, but once the Japanese anime influences that were, maybe a little less morally focused and more storytelling focused entered the frame, that's when things really started to change. Now, Avatar benefits from both morals and the storytelling. Like, there are so many episodes I can think of Avatar where at the end you have, I guess we learned a valuable lesson or something to that effect. Whether it be, whether it be something about revenge, whether it be something about trust, anything like that. But Avatar really is a gem when it comes to, I think, molding that perfect cartoon. I remember waiting for the third, let's see, one thing I remember about Avatar is they were doing the fire season, and they had to do it in two halves. The first half was, and I'm probably going to be spoiling this if you haven't seen the show, so I'm just going to keep it as spoiler free as I possibly can. So there was a huge event that takes place in the middle of the third season, the fire season. And after that concludes, like, there's this break because the next episode, even though it's a full season, the next episode of that season doesn't premiere the week after that. It takes some time. So there's all of this weight of, when is it going to come out? Where is it? What's going to happen? Because a lot changes in that episode. Like, it alters so many courses of the story. And it's one of those moments where, oh shoot, I can't wait to find out what happens in the next episode. So the wait in between the middle of that season is one of the things I'll always remember. Actively searching on Google, when does the next episode come out? When does the next episode come out? I had a huge crush on Zuko when I was 13. Zuko with the ponytail or Zuko without, with the flat, not flat, but the more loose hair. 2000s were amazing. Yeah, Avatar, Teen Titans, that's another good one. I love seeing long-form stories and darker cartoons that still had that 2000s sort of comedy. And it's funny you mentioned Teen Titans because it was such a unique form of that kind of comedy, because you had, for one thing, that very punchy, chibi anime style that popped in here and there. Wait, do I already have this downloaded? Better figure that out. And on the other hand, what you also had was that serious storytelling. And let's see, I might just need to do a copy paste if I've already got it somewhere. Yeah, okay, that's fair. Copy. Actually, I don't need to do a copy paste. I can just pull from the existing one. All right, so worst Sonic fanfiction ever. There we go. addition to that, like, I think that Teen Titans also got a lot of complaints from parents. And I know this because I went to a convention where one of the voice actors was speaking about his experience on Teen Titans. They got a lot of complaints because of violence on the show. And that was one of the reasons that it was cut short, because there was so much controversy behind that violence, and regular viewers couldn't understand it because there were monumentally more violent shows that were being made for kids at the time. And there really wasn't anything bad about the violence that we were seeing. I mean, there was very little gore. There was a lot of punching and, you know, everything, for lack of a better word. But almost none of it, almost all of it was tame compared to, here we go, this is it.
Urine.
Almost all of it was tame compared to what other shows were doing. And I don't mean mature shows, like shows that aren't targeted for kids. I mean shows that were targeted for kids. Dragon Ball Z blows Teen Titans out of the water as far as violent content. I mean, people lose limbs on that show. And I don't mean on the, you know, I don't mean on the the uncensored version. They lose limbs on the censored version too. In fact, there's a lot of blood on Dragon Ball Z. That was on a regular Toonami block that kids watched. Teen Titans has nothing on that. Man, that's a show that I really miss. Watching Dragon Ball Z, the Cell Saga after school, after camp. My God. Let's see. I have to turn the volume all the way up just to hear you. I'm not sure why that is, Cyber. I mean, I think everyone else is hearing me just fine. I'm not sure what it is. Hercules, what do you got? What's your idea? Can't wait to hear it. One thing I'll do is also, Cyber, I'll review the stream, and I'll, like, after it's all done, because I'm not going to be able to do it midstream, but I'll see what the quality of the audio is like, see if it's on my side as well, and for the next stream after that, I will see if I can fix whatever it is. I'm sure that if you're hearing something, maybe I'll hear something, or at least get an idea of what's going on. When it says urine, have the screen zoom in more on the guy, yeah, that's a solid idea, Hercules. Alright, let's get that there. Actually, I was definitely wanting to do something with that. And then let's get that snapshot. Beyblade, yeah, let's just, add it to the mix. Here we go. So we have one right there. Let's zoom in progressively more and more. Right here for number 2, I'm just going to go right ahead and cut this part off so that, and let me just paste the event attributes as well so that I can use this for next reference. On every other video, the volume is normal. Okay. I love people on the inside, so I love Zuko regardless of his hair type. I think that the thing that makes it, like, so here's the thing. I think that as far as, let's see, as far as crushes are concerned on cartoon characters, my crush was, again, this is kind of going back to my Pokemon days when my crush was on Misty at the time. And I think that she was also like a lot of other kids' first crushes in those kinds of shows. There we go. Let's see how it looks.
Urine.
Yeah, there we go. All right, perfect.
Urine.
Oh, I'm gonna. Let's see. How does that reversal? How long does it take for this to drop? See if I can extend this a little bit more. Okay, so that's coming down on the reversed. Yes, that's what I want it to look like. Ew, Misty. What's wrong with Misty? Come on. Dude, she was like perfect sidekick. Yeah. Also, she was exceedingly good at busting Brock's chops, especially when Brock had a crush on one of the, other girls in the show. Welcome to the stream, Farts Mode. Have you ever done a Beatles YouTube poop? No, but I have done a YouTube poop of the Monkees. And that was in the King Buys NFTs. You'll see my use of monkey sources in general in that one. The blonde-haired girl from Teen Titans, I think that's Terra, and Misty from Pokemon were first crushes for me. Yeah, Terra was like 10 years after my time, so like I think by that time like I grew over a lot of the animated character crushes, but let's see.
Oh.
Yeah, Misty definitely was a big first crush of mine. In a clip from Pokemon last year or something, Brock looked good with his shirt off. So I'm not surprised by that. He's a rock type, rock hard abs, I guess. I prefer May. I've heard a lot of people who grew up on Pokemon crushing on May as well. I think Steven Stone is attractive in Pokemon, if you know who he is. So I think that's one I'm going to have to look up. Kukui Kinda? Alright, Steven Stone is a Chad certified. I'll take your word for that. Let's see. Alright, so we got that effect done. We've got, man, we did a lot. We're not even done shaping the mouths yet. That's what we've got to do as well. So let's add some more shapes to this scene. This is just a fantastic opportunity to do stuff. Steven Stone is champion of... Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. I might know who you're talking about. Is Steven Stone is he the character who had the Blaziken? Because if he is, I might know who you're talking about. He's the guy with the Metagross. Okay, so I'm not sure. Okay, so Steven Stone, I'm not sure who he is then, I'm afraid. Because I think I stopped watching Pokemon after the Johto series, but I did tune in to catch the Ash versus Gary battle because that was hyped. Like, even at the very beginning of my time watching Pokemon, Ash versus Gary was such a huge thing I wanted to see that even as I, so-and-so outgrown Pokemon, I still had to see it. And they played every episode of it after school, so I was able to check it out in time. It wasn't like one of those Saturday morning things where a new episode came out every week, which I thought was a little weird because usually with this much hype, you want to space everything out and not have it be, an after-school thing. But Ash vs. Gary, I think, is the last series of episodes that I ever saw of the Pokemon show. Like, there are huge gaps where I never saw bits of the show. Potential name Beyblade. Fartsmone, you took that idea right out of my brain because I was debating whether or not to call it Beyblade. Actually, I was going to call it Geyblade because, but I don't, too basic, and I kind of liked it. To be honest though, I think that it's a good callback to the Game On series. Beyblade. I think I'm leaning a little bit more toward Beyblade. Again, Geeeeeeeeyblade. Beyblade better. I better think of better names then if that's not going to be the one. Or I could also just do a, you know, something like one of those, you know, sentence ones. What, like when I say sentence ones, I mean like Obi-Wan force feeds Qui-Gon Jinn's Man Saber, and Mulan starts an OnlyFans to fund a better live-action remake. Ones like that. If I can find one that's good, I mean, if you think Beyblade is better, I'll take your word for that. I did kind of lean toward Beyblade, but I'm sure that there's, you know, there are probably a whole bunch of good ideas. Let's see. Let's add one of these effects to the mouths. This is a dual fisheye, and oh, I added it to the wrong part. Whoops. Or did I? That's odd. What just happened? No, I added it to the right one. If I add a Rico Tetha, I think that one has an interesting shape. Beyblade. Ooh. I love how both of you came up with that at the same time. Why in the world is the addition of this effect shutting out the background? I think it's because it's a fisheye effect. Or rather a 3D effect, so maybe it isolates the others. Let's go to Tiny Planet. Tiny Planet's always going to come up with some... Yeah, Beyblade is... Man, that's a good one. Tiny Planet. What can Tiny Planet do to this mouth? What are we going to get from a Tiny Planet effect? I want a really... add something here. Oh, you were just repeating it. Okay. Well, I do like that name, Beyblade. I don't know if... I bet you other people came up with that as almost a way to mock the show back in the 2000s. That's what it sounds like. Alright, so... Tiny Planet. The thing about... Oh, man. The thing about streaming is that it's causing a little bit of a delay on the Tiny Planet edits, so... I'm going to have to flirt with this a little bit more in order to get a desired outcome. Okay, now it looks normal, but I don't want normal. I want something that's going to be a lot more janky, for lack of a better word. Maybe this version of Tiny Planet is not what I want. Maybe there's something else that... Oh, what the... What is this? Well, that's pretty janky. Okay. But I'm going to have to reposition it now. And to reposition it, will that affect the rest of the shape? Because sometimes when you do something like this in Tiny Planet, it is going to alter the size. Yeah, it is. So I think the best thing here is going to be to use a track motion to position the mouth properly. Like, look at this. Like, can you imagine what this is going to look like over his... Actually, this is very similar to what I did with Ice Age, the Ice Age YouTube poop. I had to make the Tiny Planet effect again and again and again on the scene of Sid getting smacked by Manny's trunk. Maybe replace the kid's eyes with Beyblades. That's a good idea. The world's so obsessed with Beyblades that even his pupils are just Beyblades. Beyblade for exclusive pirating of badly animated anime. That sounds like a Borat sequel, or a Borat anime. Captain, was your Minute Now YouTube poop uploaded, or was it all a dream? Not yet. Minute Now? Wait, Minute Now. Remind me what that is again. I don't know why I don't know what the Minute Now thing is unless it's a source that goes by another name, or at least a name that I consider differently. Alright, track motion. Do your thing here. Here we go. Oh, is it cutting off the sides? It is cutting off the sides. Is this going to be an issue? Maybe not. Maybe there's another way I can use this to my advantage. Okay, so let's position it. Let's add some Beyblades to the eyes. I would love to bring peace and love into the YouTube community. I think there's a ton of peace and love in there. There's a lot of open arms and acceptance. You're going to find a lot of people who may have a little bit more malice, but overall I found the community to be alright. And there are times where they've been a little bit out of order, undeniably, but I think overall it's a fantastic place to collaborate if you want to get started with YouTube Poo. Let's see. I wanted to go as far as I can before it gets cut off here. Before it gets cut off. Okay, right there. Right there, it's getting cut off. So let's get this positioned right. It's already there, but you can increase it. Absolutely. Absolutely. Open arms are the best arms. Actually, I'm thinking a little bit now about the scene where Anakin is telling Obi-Wan he's brought peace, freedom to his new galaxy or something like that from episode 3. I forget what the full line was. Now this looks a little similar to the other Big Mouth edit, but there is something that I'm seeing that I can do. Please, I want peace and love. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Okay, now let's bring this up. This looks like it's going to be a fun mouth effect. Okay. You want peace and love. Alright. Careful, Fartsmon. I get it, I get it. You don't need to continue to post that. Alright, here we go. Alright, let's see here. Let's get that positioned right. Yeah. That's almost like a very similar to the triangle effect, but this is just so much more warped. Another title is Beyblade is Let It Rip into the animator's budget. I'm still leaning more toward Beyblade. I think that's a fantastic title. I'm acting like Ringo Starr in the chat. Okay. The context, unfortunately, is lost on me. I'm not sure which Ringo Starr bit you're doing. All right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That is a pog. Good call, Cyber. Oh my God. That is a perfect pog right there. Now let's see about the Beyblade eyes. The Beyblade eyes. That's going to be pretty simple, straightforward. All I have to do is pull some Beyblades. And look at how... Keep in mind, these are tops. Are there... Oh my gosh. Are there new iterations of this show? Hang on. Before I get the top... I have to know if this show is still going, or if there are still iterations of this show still going. Types, yada yada. Anime. I guess this is the place to find it. Because that animation on that little clip right there looks like something I would see on a, a little bit more of a modern cartoon or a modern anime right here. What's the worst YouTube poop you've ever seen? I can't say because I don't know any bad YouTube poops per se. I think that there is going to be a good part to every YouTube poop. I can't really filter anything into my brain as bad when it comes to YouTube poops anymore. Save image as Beyblades. I also adore comedically long YouTube poop titles. Me too. I like YouTube. I love it when titles have a joke in them. Like with my Mulan poop, I felt like Mulan starts an OnlyFans to fund a better live action remake. Titles like that, I think, are fantastic because you get a joke right then and there, and you make them laugh before they've even clicked on the video. Beyblade is another, like it's a shorter version, but it's a great little quip that I think is going to be received great. Alright, let's see. If I have the Beyblades in the eyes, I wonder what's going to be the appropriate mouth effect, or if I even need to do a mouth effect here. Maybe I can have the eye moved to the mouth position. Let it rip like a stink bomb. That's the thing about, so it's funny you mentioned that. I don't have any good fart jokes for this YouTube poop, and the Let It Rip is such a prime candidate. Like, and for those who don't know the context, Let It Rip is the tagline for the Beyblade series, because you rip the cord out, which spins the Beyblade in its holder, and it gets released. So you're ripping the cord. Let It Rip refers to that, and it's just prime fart joke material, but I can't think of a fart joke, and maybe that's for the best, because I don't know if there's anything that, I don't know if a fart joke can be elevated to that extent in this video. Maybe if there's a way. Absolutely, putting effort into the title always settles me in for a good time. Completely agree. I mean, like with Ice Age, I mean, I thought that Ice Age was perfect by itself, especially since no one has done it yet, and I was thinking, well, why haven't they? It's right there. I might as well be the first to conquer it. There's even a video that I released just for the sake of, so, hang on one second. So sometimes I make videos from sources only because I thought of a really good title for the video. And there was one video that I made on an alternate channel for Peanuts, the Charlie Brown and Snoopy gang, and all I did was I made a scene sped up, made it distorted, and that's it. It was just the most low effort YouTube poop, but the only reason I did that was to get the name out there so that no one else could take it, and that name was, again, because it's Peanuts, Snoopy as usual, I see. So that was the only reason I did that. But I think that I want to do some, maybe in the future, do some due diligence with that title. Maybe use it in an actual YouTube poop that has jokes that are worthy of a good title like that. I saved it as Beyblade, didn't I? Why am I not seeing it? Unless, did I save it to the wrong spot? Save image as Beyblades. Yeah, it's right there. Am I just missing it? Maybe it's at the bottom. Or maybe it's one of those things where I have to click all files to see it. No. Oh no, I'm in the wrong folder. Doy, what am I doing? Beyblades. There it is. Oof, I have so many folders. Okay, let's get these cut out and added to the eyes. And, you know, it's weird, they look a little bit They don't look like Beyblades from the top, but I think that the context will still be there. Alright. I will say one thing about Beyblades, they're extremely well-designed toys. But holy hell, do they have a pretty good gimmick. Let's see. I wonder, actually, maybe a chroma keyer effect would be great here. Let me just cut out this portion. I think chroma keying it might save me a lot of time here without sacrificing too much on the quality. Let's see what we get. Mask. And then I'm going to apply the chroma keyer, but make it a pure white. There's some white on this tail of the Beyblade, but I don't think it's going to be too bad here. Chroma keyer. Add. And then choose the color white for this. Now if I reapply, I'll shrink the high threshold, increase the low threshold. Actually looks pretty good. The white's a little bit gray here, but that's alright. And now I can go to the position here, match the output, twist it so that it matches with the eyes. I want them to be well positioned here. Then I can shrink them until they get as close to the eyes as possible, maybe even do a deform effect so that they, actually no, a deform would make them lose their shape and they would no longer resemble Beyblades. Let's see what we've got otherwise here. Okay. Yeah, it's one of those stream things where it's going to take forever to load. Okay. But at least I know I'm on the right track here. And while that's going on, I'll just increase the low threshold on the chroma keyer so that some of the sides, which have that white speckle on the side, are taken out. Maybe a deform effect wouldn't hurt too much, just to make one Beyblade appear bigger than the other. I guess we'll have to find out. But one thing I'm definitely going to have to make sure I get right is their positioning. So if I want them to appear over both eyes like this, then I need to, yeah, that'll work. Spacing's right, and I just need to get it into position. And because I twisted them, then when I pan them to the left and the right, they should have a little bit of a, yeah, they move very differently. So if I was using the left arrow key and they went up. So the left arrow key moves them up, and if I want to pan them to the right, that means I'm going to have to use the down, or to the left, I'm going to have to use the down arrow key. And it should move them to the left if I've got my compass right. Yeah, there we go. So let's get them positioned a little bit more over the eyes. Getting there, might need to pan it a little further south. Okay, so that means I got to pan to the right, or use the right arrow key so I can pan them. So getting the Beyblades a little further down, then I'm going to use this arrow key here. And maybe after that, let's see. Actually, that, you know, it's interesting. I said that from the top they don't look like Beyblades, might not resemble, but no, it's very clear that they are Beyblades when you look at them from the top. Who's the target audience for this show, I wonder even? I mean, you have a kid this age who probably doesn't... Oh, man. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Like, kids of this age, like, usually aren't the target demographic for anime, except in some circumstances. I think maybe you can make an argument for shows like Hamtaro.
But
No.
oh, buddy!
No.
Let's get this need one final effect. Something that distorts its shape. And I've gone through a pretty good arsenal already. I wonder, ooh, I used a punch earlier. If I use a pinch, what happens? And a pinch is just its opposite. It's going to kind of squeeze. What do we get? What do we get? Oh, we just get a small mouth is what we get. But maybe I can scale it differently. If I scale it differently, how does it end up? That's going to be the interesting part. Because even though I've been using Vegas for, however long I've been using it, sometimes I'm still surprised by what these effects can do with the warping. Okay, so I don't need to make any serious edits there. Definitely want that effect. What happens if I decrease the vertical but spike the horizontal all the way? Let it load the result, and it looks like the result is that. So it sounds like I need the center to be a little bit moved to the south so that I can get that part of the mouth covered. Oh god, is he sticking his tongue out? Ugh. It's like he's licking his Beyblade. I wonder if I can see if I can get this part. Let's see if I move it up one pinch. Ugh, God. Oh my god. Oh my god, that is a distortion, all right. Ugh. I can't believe I just did that. I didn't even. Sometimes these things happen by accident, you know? My gosh. So he's licking his Beyblade, or at least the hand he's got it in. So I think that part of the video is good. Or at least this scene. Like, look at all of these different mouth shapes. And then we've got the urine. And I think I can safely say that the Mario no will have to hang out for a different thing. I think the Guanum no works a lot better. So, him licking his Beyblade would be a good reason for Sagittarius to hate him, absolutely. Who makes the worst YouTube poops? Nobody. Nobody makes the worst YouTube poops. For the licking scene, replace the hand with the garden hoe from, oh god, from the Cat in the Hat. From the Cat in the Hat, yep. I already know a scene you're talking about. Is that something that, let's see, how can that work? I don't know. I don't see, let's see. Replace the hand with the garden hoe. Replacing the hand is going to be really difficult in and of itself because if we go back to the shot, let me just go right back here. You can see that his hand, like, there's nothing to replace it with in the background. The only thing I can really do is mirror his shirt on the right side, but I don't know if it's enough. I'd have to get rid of the neck, make some adjustments in the neck. Let's see. If I go to the beginning of this clip, he is... But I will say, having him lick it and then Guanum say no is still pretty good. Yeah, replacing the hand or even having him hold it, I'm not sure if that's going to be... I think it's a little too much. So let's go to... Actually, pull out my phone and pull up some of the ideas that I had. Yeah. So here's the thing about this kid. This kid, I don't think he's the main character in this show. I'm going to show you who the main character, or at least the champion, so to say. So in Yu-Gi-Oh, the original series, Yugi Moto, the one who's got the big hair, he is the one who is the best Yu-Gi-Oh duelist. But in Beyblade, the Yugi equivalent is a character named Chinga Higane. Let me see if I can show you what he looks like in a prior scene. Here he is, yeah. Actually, there's a better version. There's a better clip. Yeah. Like that, but the hair. The hair is the biggest feature that he's got. And I'm just going to see if I can get to a scene where you can see the hair in full. Yeah. There. It's this flame. It's this flame guy. Look at this. It's like it's on fire. And by the way, I might as well work on this scene right here. So I'm going to show you what it is. So several points throughout the show, throughout this episode, Jinga, because this kid is looking for advice on how to be a better blader. That's what they're called, bladers. And Jinga says that a blader's truth strength comes from the heart, something to that effect. It's this cheesiness that makes no sense, but because it comes from him, it makes perfect sense. And this is the scene where he proves it. So in this episode, you have what are called characters, the bad guys, that, I kid you not, are called the face hunters. And they are people who hunt down kids and take their not their Beyblades, but their scores. Oh man. Oh yeah, the eyebrows. Oh god, the eyebrows, you're right. They are lightning eyebrows. How did I not notice that? You sounded like you were referencing the Cowbell SNL skit, the on fire part, yeah. Oh man. I'll be right back. That is my cat. There we go. Cat scratching at the door, wants to be let out. I do not want to keep them in the room so that they may defecate in the wrong spots. Oh man. Have him say that power comes from the eyebrows. And his eyebrows grow massive or something. So, first things first, let's go to the episodes. Let's see if there is any instance. Beyblade Metal Fusion. Not Metal Force, Metal Fusion. Whatever the hell that means. Episode 1. And what the hell is this? Shogun Steel? Or Metal Masters? Whatever. Alright, I've seen this episode. I've listened to this episode so many times, but I can
Switch now to Fio.
Switch now to Fio, and then massive guitar riff. Alright. I will always praise the use of a transcript. Maybe referencing that Ganon is a face hunter too in Faces of Evil. Yeah, I mean, the name Face Hunters, there are so many references that can be made to Faces of Evil and that whole series. Like, this is one of those paradoxes of choice that I run into when you have ripe material like this. Maybe parallel his nose so it looks more like an actual nose. What are we looking at? It's barely a nose. It's a... This is... What the hell is this? This is the least nose person that I've ever seen. Oh, like the Ganon idea, yeah. Can I read some Dr. Seuss later? Definitely later. Okay, here we go. Okay, well, actually, the word I don't need to worry about because there's the pronoun I that we can use for the word eyebrows. So we'll focus on the word brow. So that means there's no instance of the word brow. Yeah, he looks like he was punched in the nose or something like that. And yeah, he lost most of his nose, I think. Maybe. I mean, what the hell is this nose? I think it's just meant to be distinctive for him. So, we need to think of a way to get the word brow. Now, the B sound we can just use a regular B because it's inflective enough, or maybe we can soften a P if we have to. And we can pull that from any character in the show, because consonants are versatile. The row, we need something that can rhyme with row, and maybe something that... Oh, I'll get you in a look like a bloody accident. Cat in the Hat again. Yeah, let's see. We need something that's going to sound like row, and... Oh my god. Rhyming dictionary. See what we get. Brow. Okay. Search. Maybe there is something that we can use. Ow. Or rather, yeah, actually, I just need to find in this episode an instance of the OW. Now, right. No. How? Oh, how? How? That's possible. How? Okay. How could work. Maybe the word growl could look for that. Let's see. Let me just write down how here. Ow. No OWL sounds in the entire script for this one episode, but there, let's see, maybe the word how is going to get us there. If we can get how, that latter sound, and we have Chinga saying it, Jinga, I swear it's a J, not a CH. Okay. That's really how it's done. No. You'll show, no. This is how, no, this is, let's see. I can look at these lines and know which character says them. I've been watching this episode, listening to this episode so many times now. Maybe with the word growl. Let's see. This is how it's going down. No. Call you Jinga. How, no, that's what the kid says. Kid says this how can I become stronger like you? How, no, it doesn't matter. How, yes. Or howl with I will not die. Ooh, maybe. But I think I just found the right how. So, and it's actually right around the scene that I had my marker over in the first place. So, in this episode, the Face Hunters, like I said, they try to acquire points or steal points from young, unsuspecting bladers, and they do so by ganging up on them and pressuring them into a battle. Now, in this episode, the main character has a ridiculously strong Beyblade, and he takes out 5 on 1. Toward the end of this episode, he goes into a 100 on 1 battle, and that's where, like, you can see it right here.
This does not look good!
Again, he's doing this to prove that it's all in the heart or something like that. Let me just see if I can...
Anywhere!
Like, watch this scene.
Looks like your big buddy is too scared to move.
Stop it! Stop it already! This isn't a real babe battle! Jenga, just run!
Zip it! You just zip it and watch!
Yes, Kenta, watch!
Huh?
I'm not going anywhere.
But, Jenga...
Remember, Kenta, a babe's strength doesn't come from its attack power or stamina.
What?
And it doesn't matter how many there are. Let's roll! It's showtime! time, Storm Pegasus!
Giga!
Let it rip!
No way! You kidding me?
That's impressive.
Amazing! Now I understand what he was talking about.
Go, Pegasus!
What a true Blader's battle is.
What's happening? Oh, hey! Don't run away! You guys! Mommy! You pay for this!
Beyblade. Spinning tops. That is something that only the Japanese can come up with. So, that is what we're contending with for this latter half, and man, I think that eyebrows is still like, man, just watching this is just like, oh my god. So,
Stamina.
What?
And it doesn't matter how many...
okay, let's get the owl for the eyebrows. Let's see if we can work with that. If we can't, let's see.
How many...
Let's see. We might be able to do something. I'm not going anywhere. Just kidding. I'm going. Ooh, that's a good idea. Oh, when the guy falls at the end, put a comically big explosion effect. Yeah, let's see here. Oh, this is when he's sleeping. This is toward the end. Okay, let's add that here. Alright. And then what we need here, actually, I'm not going anywhere. Maybe make Pegasus Rainbow Dash. Maybe. I'll think of something. I mean, for some odd reason, I'm still incredulous that it's a horse that comes out. Oh, and when the guy falls it, yeah. Or make him say Mamma Mia like Mario, or both. Yeah. So first I want to, let's take a look at the I'm not going anywhere, just kidding, I'm going. If we can make some kind of just kidding, let's see. Oh, wait. Oh, there is an instance of just kidding that I can use here.
Zip it! You just zip it and watch!
Yes, Kenta, watch!
Huh?
I'm not going anywhere.
Here we go. My god. What a source. I wonder why more people didn't use this show. I don't think a lot of people knew about this show. I mean, who would suspect that a show about spinning tops would get this anime treatment?
I'm not going...
Actually, I'm going to move this toward the beginning because I have right here, actually. Because I have another joke that I add.
I'm not going anywhere.
But, Jinga,
Where?
but,
Alright, let's make this butt an
but,
Maybe the guys say, let's roll in Mrs. Mavilda's cranky old horse. Maybe. I think that I want to... Well, first off, I don't... Oh, from the Christmas tree. Okay. I'll have to check out what that is. Because this is the first I'm hearing about this. Alright,
but,
and soften the end, make the butt something of it.
but,
Where?
but,
Actually, no, I don't think I can get a successful from this. So I'm just going to leave it blank. And then soften this. Because there's no music in the background of this scene anyways.
Where?
Maybe just kidding part after he says but. I'm going to do it without the buts.
Jenga?
Let's see. Let's see if I can get. And I want to get a snapshot right here. So let's snap that shot. Save it as, I don't know, just or something like that. That's just my cat. And let's see, I'm going to move this down here. And have it supplant, let's see, the following frames here. That way it looks a lot better when he eventually says, just kidding.
Where?
Jenga Silver Bowls reversed sound like ka-ching. Maybe. It's funny, I was actually thinking about something else to do with the name Jenga, which you'll see after this quick edit. Let's see. I'm going to import, and I'm going to import from one of my older YouTube poops from the finished folder here. Catching an NFT. Well, let's see. I want Shark Boy because I think that the Mr. Electric Just Kidding has that perfect tone. Shark, here we go. Alright. And let's see. I want to get the tail end of this YouTube poop so I can get that sound. Here we go. Just kidding.
Not for real.
Or not for real. Okay, never mind. I thought he said just kidding or something like that. Alright, so something else. What's another character that says just kidding? We'll figure that out. But Jenga syllables reverse sounds like ka-ching. Jenga syllables reversed. Let's see. There's an. Let's go to the first instance of him saying his name, which comes during the first confrontation of the Face Hunters.
You're not a true blader.
Enlarged to look like an eye. Let me just write that one down. Enlarged to look like an eye. Mouth enlarged to look like eye. Maybe after Jenga says just kidding, you could cut to the scene of Jenga sleeping on the ground. Oh, ooh, that's a good. Well, actually, oh man, that would be good if he runs away first and then he just goes down to sleep on the grass. I need a scene of him running away though, but I don't think he does that in this episode. Darn it! All right.
What did you say?
Who do you think you are?
The name's Jinga. Jinga Hagane.
Chief Bogo says just kidding in Zootopia. Okay. I'll use that one.
What did you say?
Who do you think you are?
The name's Jinga. Jinga Hagane.
Alright. Let's move that over here so that, well actually, right around the middle of this poop right here. Let's see. what's a good place to put this? I'm working on... right here is good. Yeah, if there is a scene of him running, believe you me, I will grab that. Maybe there's a scene of him running in the future episode, but I have to watch the future episodes and ugh. Jenga a Jenga. Let's see. Now, you mentioned that Chief Bogo says, just kidding, in Zootopia. I think I know where exactly. It's the tail end where he's just kidding about parking duty or something like that. Just kidding, okay. Yep. And I gotta be careful. Again, this is Disney, so...
Opportunity is...
Finish. So let's grab that, and I can't believe this is the first thing I'm downloading in this entire stream. Usually I'm downloading within the first 30 minutes, or the first video I'm downloading. My name's Knuckles. Unlike Sonic, I don't chuckle. There's a lot of things that we can do with this. Okay, let's put this. In the Beyblade scene, Disney Zootopia ending. Go back to the Beyblade one. And oh, it's not downloaded yet. Whoops. Well, I only need a 240p version because I don't need to grab any visuals here. Alright. Here we go. Let's just grab this whole thing. Let's see.
Just kidding.
Oh, that's good, that's good. Yes.
Just kidding.
Nice tone of it. Nice tone there as well.
Just kidding.
And we're gonna put that right here.
Just
Maybe I have to make it louder though. So let's go put it on the 3.8 decibel one.
just kidding.
Alright, so now we need to, let's see, how can we complete that joke? I mean, if there's no scene of him running, then there must be something here. I'll be right back. Just gotta go get the cat checked. There we go. Alright, returning to this. When he says his name's Jenga, you could Photoshop a huge picture of a Jenga log. Yeah, I mean, when he says Jenga, I mean, that's almost the first thing that comes to mind, like a game of Jenga. So, I guess the big question is, what can we do with that name? Can we get a P sound and maybe make a Robotnik Pingus? Let's see. I will need a P sound, and that's going to be easy to come across. And all we have to do here is go to the go to the scene and see if we can get everything else besides the P to start. Here it is.
The name's Jenga. Jenga.
Yeah, like, this is...
Jenga.
I don't have to do very much to make the word Pingus.
Jenga. 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 The name's Jenga.
And the S sound, everyone uses the word S. It's almost impossible not to find an S sound in a source. Still got those lightning eyebrows, jeez. Alright, so let's go back to the original part of the video where he's scolding the face hunter.
Hey! Beyblading is supposed to be fun. You gang up on someone? You're not a true blader. Beyblading is supposed to be fun. You gang up on someone? You're not a true blader.
What did you say? Who do you think you are?
The name's...
Okay. I need a solid S sound from this. A solid S sound.
You're a tough guy.
Not a smart guy to get in the way of my battle. All right, then. If you really want to help this kid, then battle us.
No problem, big guy.
But this is going to be a handicap match. 1 versus 5.
Huh? What? But that's not fair!
Just zip it. This is how it's going down.
Okay, this character is really strong on his S's. I could probably just pull his S's.
This is how it's going down. This is how... This is...
Name's Pingus, snooping as usual, I see. Ooh, maybe that's a possibility. The name's Pingus. Just Snoop Pingus would be good.
This is how it... This is how...
Let's see. Let's get the S sound first.
How it's going down.
So will you battle? Or do you want to cough up all your points now?
No, don't do it! This is my battle! It has nothing to do with you!
Don't sweat it, kid.
Oh,
I'm not gonna lose to this guy.
Okay.
This ain't no joke. Does this guy think he's funny or something?
Who cares? Let's do this! Let it rip!
Whoa, it's too fast! I can't even see the Beyblade!
What's he doing? No!
Over 30,000?
Oh, and if I can find a 9.
Over 30,000?
I think this joke writes itself. It's a good reference. Might as well actually just pull this.
Over 30,000?
I'll pull this one here. If you gang on someone, you're a true blader. I agree. That's a great mix. Just a simple sentence mix. Perfectly reminiscent of like the joke from Game On, where I have Crowler saying, "Since I'm using one of those test ones instead of those own personal decks." That's a great usage. Nice spot, Journal.
Over 30,000?
Okay, so let's bring it to the end here. And I'm gonna pull the over 9,000 video. Yeah. And original video and audio. Perfect.
Vegeta, what does the scouter say about his power level? It's over 9,000!
Yeah, I think that's fine. Look at this. 14 years ago, back in the ages of 240p. Photoshop Vegeta's face onto one of their faces when they say that. Although it is interesting, the Vegeta hair almost resembles the Jinga hair. Maybe there's something I could do with that as well. Although the photoshopping face is also a good idea. Let's see what we get. Let's get the source first things first. It's over 9,000. The original. What is it titled again? It's over 9,000. Or a less obvious route. It's over 39,000. I think that keeping it simple with over 9,000. I think I like over 9,000 for this joke. So let's get it. Let's get the over 9,000.
And what? It's over 9.
There we are.
Over 30,000?
Let's separate the audio so we get a clean.
30. Over 9. Over 9,000? Over 9,000? 9,000?
Oh, his hair is also similar to Vegeta's. 40795399795 number, because 3 is slurred to be 30. I'm still pretty confident in this, this joke by itself. Maybe adding the Vegeta head. But the Vegeta head gets cut off here, so I would need another Vegeta head. Let's see if there's something that we can pull from Google here. Oh wait, no, this is Bing. Yeah, what the heck? It's all the same. Okay. Lots of fan art. This is some fan art. This is a tattoo. Or maybe just the face of Vegeta would be good by itself. And if all we need is the face of Vegeta, I could just use that very source here and just take a snap with it.
It's over.
Okay, now let's go to best, full, make sure we get a non-bleeding face. Yeah, that's good. And we'll leave the mouth cut out as well so that the mouth of the character kind of comes through, almost like one of those Annoying Orange videos. So let's get that moved. Scroll down, grab the Vegeta clip, and we're going to use our friendly neighborhood masking here to get a good mask. Careful showing too much. You don't want to reveal your name, but I see it's the same as the killer's hirer. Did I show too much? Oh, I see what you mean. No, I'm fine. Actually, I should probably log out of that. But good catch. Thank you, Journal. Yeah, the face could work. I completely agree. I think that this is a good... And we don't need the ears either. I think we can just get away with this much. Actually, I can get rid of this anchor and pivot this anchor right here, adjusting the mask right here like so. Maybe shrinking it, because Vegeta's face, the Dragon Ball Z style, art style, the faces are a lot wider. So I think just by leaving that much out, it'll work a lot better. Now what I'm going to do is have his face just appear for a split second for the uttering of the word 9. Great callback joke. Yeah, the face is much, like the Vegeta face is much fatter than the face I'm going to be putting it over here. Joined in late to see over 9,000. Hey, what's going on, Neji, or Nijai? Mr. Springfield. I'll just say Mr. Springfield. Sorry to anyone I just spoiled. Oh, yeah, that's right. You did technically spoil something. I'm not gonna say what, though, but it's okay. But Mr. Springfield, welcome in. Yeah, this is a classic. A classic reference, of course. And that's just the way I like him. Alright, so let's position the face over and then swap the scared mouths. Well, once we get this part done. Okay. And as usual, stream is making it a little bit trickier to get the positioning of this pan of the face over. Oh gosh. Wish it was a little faster. I know someone on his last stream said that Vegas uses CPU and Adobe uses a video card. I really wish that Vegas went the video card route if this is how it's going to operate on a screen like this. Alright, let's get it zoomed up a little bit more. Yeah, this is a really good poop in production. I love this so much. Yeah, right here. I'm just going to reduce the opacity a bit so I can see whether or not it's positioned the way that I like it over the face. So reduce the opacity, maybe 32%, that way I can see over it. And then, there we go. I want it positioned right here, I guess. So now what I know what I need to do is make the mask just a slight bit thinner. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to move it in. Because his face, look, it's almost like an arrowhead. And Vegeta's face is much more well defined, so I need to make Vegeta's face much more of that arrowhead shape. The volume is so messed up today. Yeah, like I said, don't worry, Mr. Colts, I'm going to check my stream after the fact, see if it's happening on my end, and if it is, I'm going to have it fixed for next stream. Ooh, the hair is also going to need to be reckoned with here, because in this character's hair comes down, and Vegeta has that forehead, this character does not, so I need to make this a reduced forehead here. So are we working on face to appear out of the kangaroo's tail hole? Well, something like that, assuming this guy's a kangaroo. So what we're doing is working with Beyblade, and this character that I'm circling with my mouse cursor, he says over 30-some odd thousand. Looked like a heart briefly. Yeah, it kind of does. Yeah, perfect. That's more like it. Let's just make one quick adjustment on this side of the mask, and we should be good. And in fact, I think I can get away with... Actually, it's fine the way it is. So now what I need to make sure I focus on doing is... Because keep in mind, in this scene, the camera is panning to all of the shocked expressions, so I need to make sure that this face stays in the right position relative to this character's face. And it's just going to be for the duration of this clip, which is just a few seconds. That's it. And of course, with it being, you know, anime Saturday morning cartoon, I don't have to make any adjustments at all to the masking. Sometimes I drink this like Godot and coffee. Alright, here we go. So we need to get this from point A to point B. From point B, the positioning is where? Right there. So all I need to do is just move the mask over. Let's see what happens when I make those few simple shoves. Actually, I should zoom out so I get a better perspective here. There we go. And, oh man. Oh, look at the way that his mouth is. I'll have to cut out the, I forgot I have to cut out the mouth here, but I don't think that's going to be a big issue here. Actually, maybe cutting out the mouth might be a little too much. Or actually, no, not enough, because the mouth is bleeding out here. So I might need to add a second mask here. Either that or get this mouth superimposed over Vegeta's mouth to make up for that. So I'm thinking using this mouth might be easier, although let's see. Oh man, I hate frame by frame editing. I've only done it once and I swore it off after. No, I don't blame you. This is it's a pain in the ass. So when you do it, you know what you're in for, and that's why I try to make sure I hate to say it, I do it as little as often. Like as you can see here, like even though it's already on the move from point A to point B, but you're still seeing bits of the character's chin coming out. So right around here, what I'm going to do is make a midway edit just to make sure it's on track. Because when you're making these kinds of edits, it's almost like everything has to be on rails perfectly. And frame by frame editing, it's one of those things. I tried doing YouTube poops on iMovie. Yeah, iMovie is like it's like the Windows Movie Maker of the Mac. How'd it turn out? Not tried frame by frame, but it sounds hard. It is. Oh man, the hardest job I've ever had to do on a frame by frame mask effect is in the Shark Boy and Lava Girl poop, where Shark Boy, I had to superimpose the shark fin soup recipe onto the blackboard as Shark Boy was scratching it, and the arm movements needed to be perfect in order to work, and it took so long to get that perfect because it's not a quick thing. It lasted for maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5 seconds, and 4 or 5 seconds with each individual frame to make sure that it's in line is tough. I'm proud of the joke, but by golly, 4 seconds, a 4-second joke like that took that much time. Let's see, let's get this mouth now. Or actually, no, I think I can leave it where it is. It's not like this part of the mouth is noticeable. It's more like the Vegeta face is brighter, so it's going to take the attention away from the fact that the mouth appears in that bottom left-hand corner. I think it's just fine. It might just work. Alright, let's reduce it to auto. And since we have it on auto, it should play back a little bit better.
Over 9,000?
Oh yeah, that's right, because I mean, edit, it's going to be a little tricky. Okay. That iMac died long ago. Oh man. Well, make a channel, make a YouTube channel, a new YouTube channel just for posting random shit, and if you can find it, post it. Like, call it whatever you like, and don't even tell me when it's unfinished. I mean it. Yeah, I can imagine frame by frame editing is tough, but it's always nice to see. It really is. I mean, the thing is that frame by frame editing is one of, in my mind, it is the hardest thing to do in a YouTube poop. Like, sentence mixing, you just need to find the vowels. It's searching most of the time. But you can do that passively. You don't need to be behind the computer for that. You can be listening to it in headphones as you're doing other things. But with frame by frame editing, you need to be behind the computer. You need to be taking those steps properly and making sure that you've got all of the anchors in the right spot. The green left-hand person has a hair like Penelope Spectra. Oh, yeah, this one. Yeah. I think his name's Kenta, actually. Oh, and by the way, sauce joke. I think I actually am really proud of this sauce joke.
Wow! Sauce!
And by the way, he says wow a lot more. I wasn't able to recover those videos. Oh, man. Hope you do. Really do. Hope you recover them somehow. Now, what another effect that I'm working on, because again, we were talking about frame by frame editing. This is an effect that I'm really trying hard to pull off. So in the show, Kenta leaps from this rail. Now, from this perspective, this looks like a wall that's really steep. Oh, the other green-haired person during the over 9,000 clip. Green-haired person. This one? Well, kind of. I guess I can kind of see it. Anyways, in this scene, this almost kind of looks like a wall, a really steep wall. I mean, it's only going to appear on the screen during the episode for maybe 5 or 6 seconds, but you don't know it's a hill until he leaps down. And I'm actually just going to see if I can find the clip. Actually, I'll just do this real quick. And he just lays flat on it. So look at this. Now the effect that I'm going for here is more of that frame by frame editing stuff. So what I'm trying to do is just make him drop straight down. And to do that, it requires a lot of layering, and I've gotten a good start on this right now. So he leaps over the guardrail, and I want him to fall vertically down like so. Wait, I just noticed something. Did it change position? Did it? Yeah, it does. Ooh. I need to make one quick edit with this. Let's see. Not with that side. It's almost like shaking a little bit, but I need him to drop down vertically. Sauce, sauce, sauce. Never stops being funny. I have no idea why. It's a stupid, simple joke, but I love it. And it always lands. Yeah, so the thing about sus jokes is that I think that they're funniest, not like, so I hear them used a lot by almost everybody, but where I think their humor really comes into play is when you have a character that is about to say something really, really big. Like, you expect something intelligent, and all he says is sus. One of my favorite uses of the sus joke, hang on, let me see if that poop is still up. Poop kidnapped princess. I think this is it. Well, for the most part. So there's a YouTube poop where they use the kidnapped princess, which is a source from 2010, 11 or so, and in it, the king is solemnly, looking down, and there's a sad music playing, and a singer comes on, but all the singer says is sauce. And I find that the best use of the sauce joke because it's unexpected. It just comes out of nowhere, like you're expecting this sad song, these sad lyrics, but all it said is sus. I feel like when you use the word sus without that context, it's almost like without it being unexpected, I should say, then it almost becomes dry and it loses a lot of its flavor. I've seen videos that have used nothing but sus jokes or forward and reverse it to the point where you're almost expecting it, not just from the video but from the creator as well, because it's almost like their only joke. And at that point, it loses a lot of its charm. So you need to slip in a sus joke when your audience least expects it. If you want a funny falling scene, there's always Hero from Gundam Wing falling like 80 feet straight into the ground and rolling for a full 30 seconds. I mean, it's a good thought right there, but I actually want the falling scene to be almost like one of those Looney Tunes things where he drops and off screen he lands, the screen shakes, and there's that, that cartoon stock falling effect. That reminds me of Lost Turnabout. Ooh, maybe have him snap his neck as a reference. Eesh. Maybe. Because as Dustin falls off the rail at night, I mean, yeah. Yeah, that's one possibility, but I think I'm going to keep with that. I've got an idea. Have the kid saying something annoying and making sounds, and Jenga throws himself over the bridge as a way of getting away from him. Ooh. So, I like that idea. I think, like, the idea of him saying, like, lots of annoying stuff, because there is a scene where, let me just go to it so you have the context. There is a scene where Kenta is annoying this guy so much. Let me go to it right now. That's actually a really, really good idea, Hercules. Let me show you what I mean. Let's see. It comes right after he's fought them off.
That was awesome, Jinga. Do you mind if I call you Jinga? How about Mr. Hagane? Oh, no, let's go with Jinga. You rock, Jinga. I'm Kenta, by the way. Thanks for helping me. I don't know how to repay you. Let's see what I got here. Have a donut? Mr. Froggy took us? Lint? I got nothing.
Yeah. So, like, that's a good implementation of that. I like that idea, Hercules. Maybe Ashram saying sus in Morshu's Paradise. Yeah. I mean, as long as the sus joke is unexpected, or it just comes in a very unexpected spot, that's when I think it's used the best. Because, YouTube poops nowadays use sus jokes so much that they need to stand out in a very special way for it to work. And I think that wow sauce is a really good way. Yeah, I think so too. It's perfect. Maybe someone else will find it on the iMac because I no longer have that computer. Oof. Well, if someone does find that is going to be a very interesting conversation if you made some weird remixes. You don't even need to edit the kid talking. Just have the guy jump over the rail to get away. Yeah, I mean, that's a possibility. Maybe when Jenga falls off, he says good like Zelda. Well, I like the idea. Like, I think that the kid talking and annoying him, that's a fantastic addition to this scene. It really enhances the joke of Jenga going over that guardrail just for the sake of falling off of it and getting hurt.
That was awesome, Jinga. Do you mind if I call you Jinga? How about Mr. Hagane? Oh, no.
Ooh, I could even sentence mix this a little bit because he says Hagane and maybe hugs. Hopefully it's not gone forever. Neither do I. I hope you find it. Post it to YouTube, or post it to YouTube for posterity's sake.
Let's go with Jinga. You rock, Jinga.
All right, so let's go. Let's see. So they're walking up along. Oh, wait a minute. I think I just noticed something in the scene where Jenga leaps off of it. They're walking up against a guardrail, but they're walking in this direction. So why did they change direction? Is that what happens here? They're walking here. Yeah. The face hunters, they're talking about them. So they're walking from right to left. Do they switch from left to right for any reason, or am I just imagining that? Oh my god, they switch directions. Why did they walk from left to right after they walked right to left so much? That's going to make things a little bit challenging. Well, maybe not. We'll see how it works. I think that it doesn't need to be perfect. Maybe this will be, oh god, it's 9:55 where I am. This might have to be the final edit of the night. Maybe replace even more words with Jenga compared to, ooh, that's a good thought. Compared to him just saying Jenga over and over again. That's a good thought. Let's see if we can make that work. So let's go over here to where I was working on that. is right around the midpoint. Right around the midpoint. And here it is. So let's get this added. Can't be too mad. Can't you just mirror the shot? Or can't be too bad. Can you just mirror the shot? I think I might be able to, but if I mirror the shot, how does it look when I do that? I think it should work. Yeah, simple, straightforward. That works perfectly. So what I need to do is get the right shot of. Wait, why does this? Oh, whoops! I left something in. Delete this anchor because now it's thinking that it has to change shots in the change perspective in the middle. So now it should work a lot better.
Awesome, Jenga. Do you mind if I call you Jenga? How about Mr. Hagane?
Yes, I love how we're making the little kid canonically super annoying in this YouTube poop. Yeah. Let's see. I can even say, can I hug you, Jenga?
That was awesome, Jenga. Do you mind if I call you Jenga?
I can make it even make Jenga into a verb in some cases. So let's see. Let me see how long this scene goes on for, or rather this shot.
How about Mr. Hagane? Oh, no, let's go with Jenga. You rock, Jenga. I'm Kenta, by the way. Thanks for helping me. I don't know how to repay you. Let's see what I got.
Okay, so this is right. Let's start from here. Let's see, because I don't think the camera pans down anymore after that. Or rather, let's see if I can.
Helping me. I don't know how to repay you. Let's see what I got here.
Just a simple walking animation, and then okay. So maybe we'll get the camera panning down toward the very end, and then we gotta wrap up the streams pretty soon. Oh boy.
You rock, Jenga. I'm Kenta, by the way. Thanks for helping.
All right, let's get these moved. I feel like you're obligated to somehow include still an image of a Jenga game box. Yeah, I feel like at some point there is going to be a Jenga joke, just like that with Mr. Springfield.
That was awesome, Jenga. Do you mind if I call you Jenga? How about Mr. Hagane? Do you mind if I call you Jenga? Do you mind if I call you Jenga?
Alright, the most of this final minute now.
Call you Jenga? 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 Call you Jenga?
Like when the kid says, let's see what I've got here, pulls out Jenga box. Oh, he pulls out several things, so lots of Jenga boxes could work, yeah.
How about Mr. Hagane? How about Mr. Hagane? Mr. Hagane? Hagane? If I hug you, Jenga? Jenga? How? Mind if I hug you, Jenga? Do you mind if I hug you, Jenga?
Simple. Alright. Let's just at least get the first sentence mix. And I think I might need to have this scene go on for quite a bit long. Oh yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! Here could be another thing.
Gane. Oh no, let's go with Jenga. You rock, Jenga. Gane. Oh no. Jenga. How about Mr. Hug? Mind if I call you Jenga? How about Mr. How about Mr. How about mind if I call you Jenga? Mind if I call you? Mind if I call you? If I call you Jenga?
So simple.
If I call you Jenga? How about if I call you Jenga?
Yeah. Alright, let's add this to the tail end and start to wrap up the stream. There we go. Let's see what we got so far.
That was awesome, Jenga. Do you mind if I hug you, Jenga? How about Mr. How about if I call you Jenga? How about Mr. How about if I call you Jenga?
And I'll fine-tune this later, of course.
How about I call you Jinga?
All right.
Mr. Hagane. Oh, no, let's go, Jinga. You rock, Jinga. I'm Kenta, by the way.
Wish I could have made it sooner, but yeah, I mean, you definitely. It's great having you, Mr. Springfield. It's wonderful that you were able to contribute. Let's do one last thing.
That was awesome, Jinga. Do you mind if I call you Jinga? How about Mr. Hagane? Oh, no, let's go, Jinga. You rock, Jinga. I'm Kenta, by the way. Thanks for helping me. I don't know how to repay you. Let's see what I got here. That was awesome, Jinga. Do you mind if I call you Jinga?
Gosh. Let's just do a simple sentence mix.
You Jinga? Do you mind if I call you Jinga? Do you mind if I call you Jinga? Mind if I call you Jinga? You Jinga? Jinga?
Add one last thing here, and that will complete the stream. Let's see how it sounds.
Do you mind if I Jinga? You Jinga? Jinga? You Jinga? You Jinga?
Might as well just replace the instance of Jinga.
That was awesome, Jinga. 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 Do you mind if I Jinga? You Jinga? Mind if I Jinga? You Jinga?
There we go.
Jinga. You Jinga?
There we go. Perfect. I'm hella late, but greetings, oh Captain, my Captain. That's alright, Galestrom. We got a lot done in this Beyblade YouTube poop that I'm really excited about. Alright, it's time to cut the stream, and whew, let's just say that this is one that I am really excited to see how things develop. I'm actually really glad that this source is on YouTube. It takes away the fear of having to worry about any kind of copyright. But in any case, this was a Saturday stream. We're going to resume Thursdays as the typical streaming day. And from there, we're going to see if we can follow up with, let's see. I might do more of this source since it's so much fun to do on stream next Thursday. So I'll talk to you. I'll see you all next Thursday, same time, 7 to 10. Thank you so much for being a part of this stream, and I cannot wait to see what comes next. Enjoy your evening, everyone. Enjoy your Saturday night. Enjoy your no, wait, am I the only one hearing him at a low volume? You're not the only one, Galestrom. I don't know why that is, but that's okay. I think that Cyber also had a problem, but I'm going to figure that out. So I'll see you all next Thursday.